Welcome to 411 Stories of Connection. These are the goosebump stories that let us know our loved ones across the veil are still right here.
We know how important these stories are because after we lost our daughter to cancer in 2018, we just needed to know that she still existed.
We hope that these stories find you when you needed to hear them the most.
Thanks for being here.
Whoa, the coolest series of events just went down, and I couldn't be happier that I was given permission to share this on here. Because if this doesn't prove that our loved ones are right here with us, I don't know what would. This little boy named Bo, and I've shared his story before, he's in heaven right now, and he is connecting with his family in such a beautiful way, and his mom contacts me and she lets me share all these beautiful stories, and this one just happened. So he gives his family dimes to let them know that he's with them. And it's not just his mom and dad, he does it with other members of the family. He was really close with his cousin that was only 10 months older than him. They were little buddies. And that little boy had something in his hand. And the grandma said, "What do you have in your hand?" And he opened up his hand and it was a dime. So this has already happened. It was a sweet moment. They knew that the dime was from Bo. So now this morning, that little boy, the cousin, his mom sent Bo's mom a video. And inside the little boy's dollhouse that a deceased grandfather had made is a dime sitting in one of the rooms of the dollhouse. I'll show you a video here. And it's like, how did the dime end up in there? It's pretty cool. So that was a really neat moment of connection. And she sent it to me. She gave me permission to share this. And then she turned around and the frame TV that she never turns on before dinner time, and this is in the morning, was turned on and a photograph was displayed up on the TV. It was this photograph. It's the coolest thing. I don't know how he could have been more clear that he's right there with them. He's happy that she's sharing his story. He wants everybody to know that their loved ones are right here. They're not a million miles away. I say that all the time. Heaven isn't up in the clouds or beyond the universe or whatever. They're right here. And they love it when we connect with them and when we talk to them, and we're not pulling them down and making them earthbound or some crazy thing like that. They are limitless and they want to be a part of our lives. So if you are feeling your loved one and you're seeing signs from them and you're wanting to believe that they're still here with you, I invite you to believe all of it. Because Bo wants you to know it's true. And all I can say is thank you, Bo.
This is Stephanie and her father, Richard. He passed away in January of this year. One day, she was having a hard time and she went to pick up her children from school. When she plugged her phone in to listen to a podcast, the radio turned on and it was playing a station called K-Love. When her kids got into the car, she went to turn the radio up and it had tuned to a different station and one of her dad's favorite songs was playing. This left her in shock and let her know that her dad was with her and that he was okay.
This is another story of connection with my daughter, Kenadie, who passed away in 2018 from brain cancer when she was 10. This story happened the following fall, so it would have been the fall of 2018 in October. And my dad and I always do an annual hunting trip every year. We go to our family cabin on the east side of the mountains. This year was going to be especially hard because it was the first time I would have been back to our cabin without Kenadie. And this was like her favorite place in the world. We always joke that she'd rather go there than go to Disneyland. Probably her favorite place on the planet. I knew it was going to be hard to go there, so the drive over, it's about a 5.5 hour drive. I was by myself and I was meeting my dad over there. So I had a lot of time to think, and I was constantly talking to her and telling her that I needed signs from her and I just want to know she's with me. And I got there and it was as hard as I thought. It was a tough thing to be there. Like there's just memories of her everywhere, So the day after I got there was the first day I went up on the mountain. My stepmom had sent over rocks with us that she had painted that we were going to leave around that had Kenadie's name on the back. And I'll put a picture of that at the end of the video. Anyway, I went up on the mountain that day and I went down into a place I hadn't been before, and something crashed out from underneath me and I looked down and I saw a black bear take off Like, well, that was pretty cool. I don't, there's lots of bears around over there, but you don't always see them. I decided to go down a little bit further, and it was really steep. I looked across the canyon to the ridge on the other side, and there was another bear over there, another black bear, and it was different than the first one I saw. I could tell it was bigger than the first one, and it was in a completely different spot, and it wasn't the direction the other one had gone. So I was like, wow, two bears, that's pretty wild. That's never happened to me before. I'm lucky, to see one bear a season over there would be rare, even though they're around. So it's like, wow, 2 bears in a day, that's pretty wild. And later that day, I decided it was probably time to head out. It was going to be a long, steep climb out of there and around to hike back up. And I got up maybe 100 yards or so from where I was, and I looked up, and right below where my motorcycle would have been parked up on the road up there, there was another bear, a chocolate brown color, not black like the other 2. And I was like, whoa, 3 bears in one day? That's crazy. I can't believe that. This is nuts, And it was right then it like clicked in my head. But I remember the rock I'd taken up there with me that day. And so I thought, oh yeah, I need to leave this up here. So I left that rock on the mountain that day, and basically to sum it up, I saw 3 bears in like a 3-hour period in the same little drainage, and this is the rock that I took with me that day. No doubt in my mind that this was a sign from Kenadie that she was with me.
The day that Susie's dad passed, her mom, her brother and his family, and Susie and her family got together to plan his funeral. They were emotionally exhausted and decided to order pizzas for dinner. When the pizzas arrived, Susie realized that there was an extra pizza from what she ordered. It was a Hawaiian pizza. At that moment, she knew her dad was with them because her dad wasn't a huge pizza fan, but when he did order one, it was always a Hawaiian pizza.
The image itself is really powerful, but the story makes it even more special, so I want to share it here. Her husband of 46 years passed away on February 3rd. He was ill for quite some time, and so his kids and his wife put a security camera in the bedroom so that they could keep an eye on him even when they weren't in the room with him. After he passed, his wife wasn't doing very well, mentally, physically, all the things. She was even in the hospital. She got back home. Her kids asked if they could have the security camera on and keep an eye on her because she was home alone. It was her birthday on March 13th. It was her first birthday without her husband. She goes to bed, and at 1:13 in the morning, her children get an alert that motion was detected in the bedroom. You can see from the image right now what they saw when they checked the camera. The fact that it had just been her first birthday without her husband, and that the hand looks like it's placed on her right side, right here, and she had a hairline fracture to her rib at the time. I have no doubt. It's totally up to you what you believe, but I know that's her husband. Heaven isn't a million miles away beyond the stars. It's right here, and so are your loved ones.